What's going on, everybody? This is Patrick from Porter's Unboxings, as you know. And I'm here to do a video today off of a question that I got in my Q&A from KillaCam0714. And his question was, if you could go back in time and change the outcome of a particular match, which one would you change and how would it have impacted that company? So, I answered that in my Q&A, but then I decided to just make a video about it. Because there is a lot. I mean, just a stack alone, I could change right here. I could change all of these. So, I am here to talk about that today. So, if you would just sit back, grab a drink, grab some food, and just relax. So, thank you for the question, man. And let's just get started. So, the first DVD that I thought I would change, I think everyone would change this. Summerslam, right here, 2010, probably one of the worst pay-per-views of the decade. So you have Team Cena and Team Nexus. You have Randy Orton versus Sheamus. Dude, okay, besides Battleground 2015. That was a good match. But do we really need Orton versus Sheamus again? Their Royal Rumble 2010 match was awful. So, like, do we really need it again? And then you have Kane versus Rey Mysterio with Undertaker coming back. Because he was knocked unconscious. Against Memorial Day, and then we got Kane versus Undertaker in that rivalry. You also have Big Show versus Straight Edge Society. Dolph Ziggler versus Kofi Kingston. That's not too bad. So, a dangerous group of rebellious upstarts has invaded Monday Night Raw, proclaiming, if you're not Nexus, you're against us. John Cena has recruited a star-studded lineup to battle the Nexus with that team of Edge, Chris Jericho, R-Truth, John Morrison, and the Hall of Famer, Bret the Hitman Hart. Really? You really want to see Bret Hart, a legend, a former WWF champion, in a busted out, dirty old t-shirt, just like Luke Harper. We'll get to that. So the cover does not speak SummerSlam at all. You have this fighting stance. You seriously can't put that on the cover of this? Just put the back. These two pictures right here and split it down the middle. I got a question from 2004 Punk last night about what cover would you change. This right here to that. So, like, the match I would, like, switch around is the 7-on-7 and have Team Nexus win. Because they're this big group, and they actually went downhill. Actually, right after this. Because they never, like, resurfaced after that. Well, besides Wade Barrett in his 2014 IC title run. So, change the Nexus to winning this match. Oh, and you also have Daniel Bryan coming back after getting fired. Yeah, so that's what I would change because besides Team Nexus not winning, this pay-per-view is still awful. So, now this is a weird one. Probably for you. I have Survivor Series 2010. So, this is when John Cena versus Wade Barrett at Hell in a Cell. It was either Nexus would disband or John Cena would join them. So then you have Husky Harris, aka Bray Wyatt, make his debut as Husky Harris and cost Cena the match. So then we get to this pay-per-view. Oh, and if I didn't show you right there. So you have Kane versus Edge. That was a okay match. You have Team Mysterio versus Team Del Rio. You have Rey Mysterio, Big Show, Kofi Kingston, MVP, Chris Masters versus Alberto Del Rio, Drew McIntyre, Jack Swagger, Cody Rhodes, and Tyler Rex. I don't even remember who Tyler Rex even is. Chris Masters is gone. MVP is on Raw. Kofi Kingston's on Raw. Big Show is on AEW. Del Rio is probably still in jail. McIntyre's on Raw, which I hope he gets drafted to SmackDown. The Bully Sheamus versus John Morrison. Daniel Bryan versus Ted DiBiase for the U.S. title. So I don't know what you would want. So Team Nexus wins here. And then Wade Barrett wins the WWE title from Randy Orton. Now I know a couple weeks later, the Miz would cash in and win the WWE title from Randy Orton, and they would have a rivalry. But would you have liked to see Wade Barrett win the WWE title and have John Cena fired? Wait, crap. Would you have liked to see Wade Barrett win the WWE title and John Cena free from the Nexus? So we would never have to see this guy face Cena again. And don't you see like that? That's like a CGI type of crap right there. That ref shirt is too big for his body. Yeah. And that's just a stupid picture of Cena. So that's what I would change for that. Then we get into probably one of the worst WrestleManias in recent history. And I got this for $5. WrestleMania 27. The only match on here that I liked, or actually 3, like 3 matches on here. What? The first one is Randy Orton versus Punk. World title match against Edge and Del Rio. And then no holds bar match for the streak. Undertaker versus Triple H. So, like, I would, like, I don't know how you would change this. But like, this is setting up for, like, WrestleMania 28 a year later. You also have, Jerry Lawler versus Michael Cole. Yes, I will say that again. Jerry Lawler versus Michael Cole. 2 announcers. And the special guest referee, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Why? You have a mixed tag team match. Trish Stratus, Snooki, John Morrison, and Lay Cool. Oh, wait, sorry. Versus Lay Cool and Dolph Ziggler. You have an 8-man tag. Big Show, Kane, Kofi, and Santino Marella versus the Core. So I really don't know how to change this. I would have had Jerry Lawler versus Michael Cole not be on the show. I don't really know what would have happened if Triple H won because he's not CEO. I mean, he's not COO for a while here. I would have had The Rock not host, and actually John Cena versus The Miz in like a real match, and not be counted out, and not be a no DQ. But I loved their I Quit match for 2011. So one of the worst, right here. I did a rant video on this one. And you're probably asking yourself, what's worse than that? Well, I'll tell you. WrestleMania 29, right here. You have a great cover here, but that's about it. See, at WrestleMania 28, you have once in a lifetime. Great. You'll never hear from these people again. They'll never face again. Oh my God. Thank God. But then in 2013, The Rock versus CM Punk. The Rock wins the WWE Championship. CM Punk loses his 434-day reign. And then Cena wins the Royal Rumble. And then we get this. Cena and Rock. This pay-per-view sucks. So here is what I would have changed, because in February 25th, 2013, you had a match, CM Punk versus John Cena, and the winner would have been the number 1 contender to the championship. Now, what I would have done is The Rock interfere in that match and have a triple threat. So you would save this. So you could I'm sorry, not save it, cancel it. But that didn't happen. Cena won. And we were supposed to get CM Punk versus Triple H here and have CM Punk win the championship. See, that's why that's not the only reason why he quit. But that's one of the reasons. So going back to here, you also had and we would have not got that great match against Taker and Punk. So I'm gonna say you saved WrestleMania 29 with one match. So then you had Triple H versus Lesnar in a no-holds-barred match for Triple H's career. You had Team Hell No versus Dolph Ziggler. And a night after WrestleMania 29, Dolph Ziggler cashes in April 8th, 2013. He wins the world title, and thank God he did. Because who wants to see Del Rio versus Jack Swagger again? Because that's what we got on Raw the next night. So, the match I would save, have The Rock come out to the ring in February and make this a triple threat. That would have saved this pay-per-view. But what actually saved it was Undertaker versus Punk. I think that was the match of the night. So, right here. One of the worst. And now you're probably thinking to yourself, why did you put Survivor Series 2013 on this list? Well, I'll tell you. It's Thanksgiving. You had a great match against CM Punk and Daniel Bryan versus Luke Harper and Eric Rowan. You had a 5-on-5 Survivor Series match. Cody Rhodes, Goldust, the Usos, and Rey Mysterio versus the Shield and the Real Americans. I think the Real Americans weren't good. I think you could have gave the singles run to Cesaro earlier here. But then we get into the bad matches here. You get Randy Orton versus Big Show, because Big Show was fighting for his job. Like, you seriously can't have anyone face Randy Orton better than Big Show. Why even have Big Show on the card? After months of the Authority's humiliating power plays, Big Show aims his knockout punch at the face of the WWE, Randy Orton. Will the Big Show's pent-up rage value the world's largest athlete from the unemployed line to WWE champion? No! He didn't win, and thank God he didn't. Because we got this match. We got this great pay-per-view. TLC 2013. And they merged the titles together. On this card, you had a TLC match, Cena and Randy Orton. You also had two 3-on-1 handicap matches. The Wyatts versus Daniel Bryan. The Shield versus Punk. And you seriously can't put this as the cover? You have to spoil everything, WWE? Like I said with SummerSlam. Put Orton and Cena, and put the World Championships like this on this thing. It's not that hard. I gotta watch that again. So So going back to this, Big Show was the wrong choice for this. So I would change the Randy Orton's opponent, but the rest of this card seems fine. I mean, I think you would have had Bray Wyatt on the card, but you had him with the Wyatt family, so. And then we get into probably the third most not watched WrestleMania. WrestleMania 32. I don't like this pay-per-view because of one reason. They screwed up Dean Ambrose and Brock Lesnar. They screwed it up. Although I do like Triple H's entrance right here. But you had Undertaker versus Shane Mcmahon in a Hell in a Cell. You had The Rock versus Eric Rowan in a 6-second match. Like, why? Triple H versus Roman Reigns. I think that's a terrible match, because if you're gonna have this match, why give him the championship at the Royal Rumble? But as I was saying, they ruined this match. Like, let's see, Mick Foley was on Raw the past couple of weeks. He gave him thumbtacks, and then Terry Funk was also on Raw. He gave him a chainsaw. A chainsaw. And then Dean Ambrose gets under the ring, and he pulls out the chainsaw. He can't get it to work. So, what does he do? He throws it behind him, and it's never used again. No holds barred street fight. You had AJ Styles versus Chris Jericho, good match. You also had Kevin Owens, Dolph Ziggler, Zack Ryder, Sin Cara, Sami Zayn, The Miz, and Stardust for the Intercontinental title in a ladder match. So Zack Ryder wins, and then a night later, they give the championship to The Miz. Why? Why did he just win it here? Although then you had a great program with Dolph Ziggler in September over that championship. I loved SmackDown after the draft. I loved it. And then you had Shane McMahon versus Undertaker in a Hell in a Cell. I kind of liked that match. I mean, Shane McMahon almost killing himself. And then, for some reason, Vince McMahon said, if you lose, you can't run Raw. And then, you can't run Raw if you lose this match. And guess what he did? He lost the match. And then, the next night on Raw, money. He runs Raw. He runs Monday Night Raw. Great job, Vince. Thanks, Dad. Although you did have a good women's match right here. And then you also had Stone Cold come out with a New Day. And then you're probably saying, why do you have this on your list? WrestleMania 33. Well, first of all, because it ran for probably 11 hours, because I went to bed at 11:30 that night, and I had school in the morning. Good cover here, but way too many superstars on it. They're probably lining all up to go on this roller coaster. The ultimate thrill ride, ladies and gentlemen. You had Seth Rollins versus Triple H. You had Goldberg versus Lesnar for the Universal title. The Hardy Boys came back, but that's not why it's on the list of what one match from a pay-per-view would you change. I would change on this card. Oh yeah, and the opening artwork here. The one match. Randy Orton versus Bray Wyatt. See, in February, Bray Wyatt wins the WWE Championship. And at that same event, Randy Orton versus Luke Harper. Great match. Besides the Elimination Chamber, I thought that was the best match of the night. But then you have a Battle Royal to see which one would face Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania with Randy Orton for some reason. So that is down to Luke Harper and AJ Styles. They both touch the floor. Their feet both touch the floor. So they have a rematch next week. AJ Styles wins that match. You have Luke Harper break out of the Wyatt family, turn on Orton, and also turn on Bray Wyatt. You had the match. Why didn't you put it as a triple threat match? And have I don't know who I would put as champion, but I would I've just had that triple threat. You would have had the Wyatts. Oh, I'm sorry. The Wyatt family triple threat match right here. Or you could have brought back Eric Rowan and have a fatal four-way. But I would probably have Brody Lee win. And then he didn't have to quit WWE, and I don't know. But The Undertaker and Roman Reigns took forever. I mean, that Undertaker said that's one of his worst matches he's ever put on. And then you had Naomi win the championship. You had Bayley retain. And then you had John Cena proposing to Nikki Bella. Yay. Then you had Kurt Angle and Teddy Long in the Hall of Fame. And you get a Hall of Fame disc. And then you also get Jeff and Matt. But Hall of Fame disc. So we are almost done here. Going on for 30 minutes. Going on to a double feature here. Payback and Backlash of 2017. Now I'm talking about Backlash right here. You want to know why? Because of this. Randy Orton and Jinder Mahal. So, coming off of his win at WrestleMania 33, you had Randy Orton without an opponent. 6-man battle royal, 6-man pinfall and submission match. Yeah, Jinder Mahal win. That's great. I mean, not great at the time, but good. I didn't know it was going to be the whole summer. You had Jinder Mahal win the WWE Championship and make us all feel like crap. I mean, the whole summer, I wanted him to lose that championship. And the next two pay-per-views that I'm going to be talking about explains that. So the match I would have changed was Randy Orton retaining his championship against Jinder Mahal, so we wouldn't have to complain for 6 months or more, because he lost that championship in November to AJ Styles, because we didn't want Jinder Mahal versus Brock Lesnar. So Orton retains championship here at Backlash. The rest of the card was not bad. You've seen debuting superstar Shinsuke Nakamura. And then we get to SummerSlam. I got for $10. That actually says it right here, guys. SummerSlam 2016. Right here. That's why I got it for so cheap. I love the cover of it. I mean, you have the graffiti, SmackDown and Raw, and then you have like Samoa Joe, Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar's names. Yeah. So on this card you had AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens with Shane Mcmahon as your special guest referee. You had the Shield, or two halves of the Shield versus the Bar for the tag team titles. You had Alexa Bliss versus Sasha Banks, and you had Lesnar, Brock, Roman, Braun, and Samoa Joe. You had Jinder Mahal versus Shinsuke Nakamura. And that's where we draw the line. I would change Shinsuke Nakamura to winning the WWE title here. Because no one okay, so there's two matches here, actually. Braun Strowman is on the roll of his life. Right after Payback, he defeats Roman Reigns. Yeah. So have him win the championship here, guys. I mean, come on. But really, Kinshasa, 2 times. And then you have the Chanel Singh or the Singh brothers. They're banned from ringside. They're gone. They're gone. But Shinsuke pins it. Okay, first off, this is why you don't pin this leg. This is why you pin this leg. So the opponent doesn't reach for the rope. That's why you lost, dude. Because you hooked the wrong leg. So, I am giving Shinsuke Nakamura on the biggest clash of them all at SummerSlam. And I'm also giving Braun Strowman the championship. Okay. We're going two on championship. I'm sorry. I would change on both pay-per-views here tonight. No Mercy and Hell in a Cell. I like that cover. And I also like this cover. But I love the discard. Right there. So, on this card, great match against Cena and Reigns. In a WrestleMania worthy dream match. C Nation battles the Roman Empire. Okay, so since Braun Strowman lost at SummerSlam, guess what, everybody? He gets a rematch in September. 1 month later. So he's on, again, he's on the roll of his life. Beast Incarnate Lesnar versus Braun Strowman. And then you have Seth Rollins and Ambrose versus The Bar again in a rematch, where Cesaro broke his teeth, shoved right up here. At least it didn't come out of his nose like Mick Foley did. But No Mercy 2017. You had I think it was September 4th. I don't know. September 26th. I'm not sure. I was watching a video yesterday. His five power slams to Lesnar. Kick out, kick out, kick out, kick out, kick out. 1 F5. Are you serious? Lesnar can't stay down for 5 power slams, but Strowman can get up. I'm sorry. Strowman can't get up after 1 F5. Let that sink in for a minute. Let that sink in. Okay, the match I would save right here. The main event. Have Strowman win the championship here. And then at Hell in a Cell, Jinder Mahal versus the King of Strong Style, Shinsuke Nakamura. Again, for the WWE title. And Jinder comes out the winner. Shinsuke can't get it done at all. So then, in November, AJ Styles wins the championship. Oh, he can get it done because he is a phenomenal one. Okay, that's fine. we were happy that his reign was over. We were happy that Mahal's reign was over. And then, again, he gets into a rivalry with Nakamura. Now, a Blu-ray that I was supposed to bring in my room. I don't know where it went. I guess I didn't grab it. You had three or four matches with this guy, and Nakamura cannot get the win. Give Nakamura the win at WrestleMania 34. That's the match I would change at that event. Okay, so if you're not going to give him the championship at WrestleMania 34, give him the championship at Money in the Bank 2018. There you go. Or you could have gave him the championship right here. So that's a match I would change on both of these cards. And then we get into a pay-per-view last year. Got Super Showdown 2020. There are two matches on this card that I would change. And I am going to make a rant video on this. I just don't know when. But the match I would change. You know what match I would change? This match right here. This match right here. Okay. On October 31st, 2009, or even before that, at Hell in a Cell, it was Bray Wyatt, The Fiend, versus Seth Rollins. Bray Wyatt is the biggest draw here. He can't lose. But then you had Rollins as Universal Champion. He can't lose because The Fiend and Seth Rollins were selling merch sales. So they both can't lose. Bray Wyatt or The Fiend came up at here against Finn Balor as a new character. So he is too new to lose. So you have in a no DQ match in a Hell in a Cell environment. Ring the bell, ring the bell. Ladders, toolboxes, chairs, swinging them over the ladder with Bray Wyatt's face. So, no contest. The Fiend wins the championship at Crown Jewel on October 31st. Great. It's not that great. But then you get into a story with Daniel Bryan. Great strap match, and you can hear all of this in my Bray Wyatt release / rant video that I did with the Wrestling DVD Central. Okay, so then we get to this. Goldberg versus The Fiend. I don't even know what this cover even... just looking at this cover, it is awful. So, Bray Wyatt doesn't even get oh, I'm sorry, the Fiend doesn't even get a move off. He gets speared twice. He gets a jackhammer once. And Goldberg wins in probably a minute. So, of course, I would change the Fiend to win the match. But what saved his career, or probably, was WrestleMania 36. John Cena and versus the Fiend in the Firefly Funhouse. But then the other match I would change, Lesnar and Ricochet. Why have Ricochet versus Brock? Really? You can't pick anybody else to face Lesnar at this stupid event in Saudi Arabia. There's Roman Reigns and King Corbin in a steel cage. The Fiend versus Goldberg. Oh, I'm sorry, Oldberg. The road to WrestleMania continues at Super Showdown. So yeah, Lesnar versus anybody else, because that was a squash match. I mean, you could have had the rematch from Survivor Series 2019 against against Mysterio. He matches out to Ricochet, right? Right? I don't know, man. So I would have just changed the match. The Fiend wins and give Brock Lesnar a different opponent. Yeah, so these are the DVDs that I would have changed, and I hope you liked this video, and I hope you're all still with me right now. I hope you're still all watching this. And this has been Patrick Force Unboxings, and I'm out. Peace.